what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, my name is Bree and I'm so happy that you're here. Today I wanted to make a fun little video talking about my favorite and least favorite things about the University of Alabama, but full disclosure, there's a lot more pros than there are for cons for me. I absolutely love the University of Alabama. I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. I am going to be a sophomore in the fall, and that's literally crazy. I just finished freshman year. I feel like I have a pretty good idea of the vibes in the University of Alabama. I kind of just feel like I am able to talk about it at this point. I know when I was deciding on a college, I was watching tons of videos talking about the colleges I wanted to go to and the pros and cons. I just hope that this video can help you if you're considering Bama or if you're coming and you can just get excited because I absolutely love this school. It is one of my favorite places in the world and I'm so happy that I came here. I'm gonna be doing a little get ready with me while I film this just because I've had some people ask for like a how I do my makeup video, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to do both the things. So anyways, let's get into the video. Okay, so first I'm going to clip my hair back. Basically, I'm getting ready because today my family's taking like family photos for my dad to like send out because he's a state rep. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is obviously the pros. I'm using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Literally love this stuff. So my first pro is the campus itself. It is literally beautiful. If you're thinking about going to Bama, you have to tour the campus. Like, that was one of my biggest pros, was just how pretty the campus is. I didn't see another campus that was as beautiful and vibrant and exciting as Bama's. It's just so pretty. Honestly, all year round, I was there for all the seasons and it was always beautiful. It truly feels like you're in a movie about a college and it's just like gorgeous. And honestly, like, all the buildings are really nice. It's just a really pretty, refreshing environment and I absolutely love it. Next, I'm going to be doing my foundation. I use the Airbrush Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury. The next thing I want to talk about kind of ties into campus vibe. The energy at Bama is just like unmatched. The spirit, everyone's just excited. There's always stuff going on, which I really like. I like a high energy environment. I'm definitely like a city girl. Don't get me wrong, Tuscaloosa does not give like city vibes, but it does give like excitement, high energy vibes, if that makes sense. I went to another school in Alabama, not gonna name names, but cough cough, Alabama's rival school. The campus was beautiful, but the vibes were just not there. Like, it was just calm and just not energetic and just like really peaceful, but not in like a good way in my mind. I like an energetic vibe, if that makes sense. That's just my personality. If that's not for you, that's totally fine. But if you like high energy, spirited, upbeat, always things going on vibes, Bama's the place for you. My next pro is that there are so many organizations on campus. It is insane. I think there's maybe 600 and something. It's wild. There's so many organizations on campus. It is incredible. There's literally something for everyone. We have this thing called Get On Board Day, and basically it's like the first 2 weeks of school. It's one afternoon in the first few weeks of school, and it's where like all the clubs set up on the quad and like show all the clubs, and they just have tables and booths set up that you can go look at. It can be very overwhelming, but it's also so cool because you're just starting your life and you're figuring out the things that you're interested in. And I probably picked up like 20 something pamphlets, and I think I joined like 6 or 7 clubs, but it's just so cool to realize you have all those opportunities at your fingertips and that you really can do whatever you want. This year I joined student government. I did something called University Stewards, where you go have lunch with prospective students. I joined an a cappella group, which I absolutely love. I joined this thing called Engage Tuscaloosa, where you go read to little kids at elementary schools. So many things. There are so many opportunities. So there's literally something for everyone, and I just think Bama gives students so many amazing opportunities to get involved in whatever you're interested in. The next thing I want to talk about is scholarships. Bama by far gave me the best scholarship. Literally, I've asked so many people this year, like, oh my gosh, why'd you come to Bama? And I will tell you that 95% of people said, love the campus and the scholarships are amazing. If you have a good GPA and or a good ACT, the University of Alabama will reward you for your hard work. It's just so refreshing to go to a school that really values the hard work that I and so many other people put in high school. Bama is like a really expensive school, but they give such amazing scholarships that it makes it very affordable, a really reasonable option for college, especially considering how incredible of a school it is. I know that for me and so many people, the scholarships are a huge draw. Right now, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape for concealer. I love this stuff. The next thing I wanted to talk about was Tuscaloosa itself. I personally love Tuscaloosa. I just feel like it's a really cozy hometown feel, but at the same time, there's so many fun little restaurants, so many fun places to go, lots of little shops. I'm never bored. They have literally everything I need. I don't have to go like out of Tuscaloosa to get my hair done, get my nails done, go shopping, get my mail. They have every store I think I could need, and everything's really close together, so it's just really convenient. I will say, like, the one thing that's kind of like, you're really not close to anything else. Like, I went to the beach one time and it was like a 5.5 hour drive. Not close to Disney World, not close to any big city other than Birmingham. Personally, I really don't like Birmingham, so I never really go there. Other than that, I love Tuscaloosa. I love living there. It's great. I love that it's really like a college town. I knew going to college, I wanted to go to a school that felt like a college. I didn't want to be like thrown into the real world. It really does feel like that in Tuscaloosa. The whole town is basically centered around the college, and basically everywhere you go, there's college students, which I just like because it makes me feel, you know, like I'm a part of something. Next, I wanted to talk about the classes themselves. I love that even though it's a big school, there's like a huge mixture of, there's some big classes, there's some small classes. I would say my biggest class probably had like 120 people in it, and my smallest class has had like 12 people in it, so it's a huge variety. I really like that. I honestly really like lecture classes just because there's less pressure on you to like talk and things, but then again, in your smaller classes, you get to know the professor and you get to know the people. So it really just depends, but I really like that there's a big mix. And if you're in the honors college specifically, you're gonna be in classes that are a good bit smaller as well. So I really like that there's just such a big variety. It's not just me going to classes with 400 people and never knowing the teachers. Like, I have teachers that know my name and that I've made a genuine connection with. And I also have classes that the teacher has no idea who I am, and it kind of takes the pressure off. So I just really like the variety, and I think that that's definitely a pro. Kind of in the same vein, I absolutely love all the teachers. I really have not had an issue with anybody. They're all super nice, super understanding, very thorough. I would definitely say, like, look at Rate My Professor, ask around for different teachers and things like that. But overall, like, I think the school has amazing faculty, and so far I've had no issues with them. Next, I'm using this Shape Tape in Ultra Creamy in the shade Deep Honey for like a little contour moment. My next pro is actually the dorms. I was lucky enough to live in Prez. I'm thinking about making a little video talking about like the different dorms at Bama. They definitely vary, and they're definitely all very different. I liked Prez because it literally feels like you're living in a hotel. For those of you that don't know Bama, Prez is like Presidential Village 1 and Presidential Village 2. They're the exact same. But it's like apartment style living, so there's 2 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, and a living room, and then you share a bathroom, and then you all get your own room. I literally loved Prez. I loved living in a place that was boys and girls. I loved having my own room. I loved a living room. I loved everything. A lot of the girls lived in Tut, and they just rebuilt it, so it's absolutely beautiful. I just didn't want to live there. The reason why girls do is because it's so close to Sorority Row, so you're really close to everything on campus. Prez is about a 20-minute walk. Keep that in mind if you really hate like a walk to class. I knew I wanted my own bedroom. I knew I wanted my own space, so I wanted Prez. For me, I love the dorm. I know there's a lot of people that lived in other dorms that didn't like it. I can't speak on their behalf, but for me in Prez, I absolutely loved it, and it was a huge pro because I don't know another school that any of my friends go to that offers single bedrooms. Like, I just think that that's so nice, especially for freshmen, you know? The one thing that really sucks about housing at Bama is if you don't enroll early enough, you're not gonna get a good room. The only reason I was lucky was because my roommate enrolled way early and had a really good pick date. If it wouldn't have been for her, I wouldn't have lived in Prez. Shout out to Caroline, I love you with my whole heart. Next, I wanted to talk about Greek life. I am involved in Greek life, and my experience has been nothing but amazing. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I feel like I found my home and a community that supports me and loves me. Next, I'm gonna do my pressed powder. This is CoverGirl Clean Fresh. If you're thinking about rushing, I highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. I just love having a place I can go to between classes, having people I can always rely on, having sisters that support me, and just a community that I can relate to. It's so nice having a small community on such a big campus. And by small community, I mean 430 girls, which is huge, but it's just so nice, and I've gotten so close with so many people. I absolutely love the Greek community on BAM's campus. It is like the biggest Greek community in the world. But on the opposite side of things, if you just really feel like Greek life isn't for you, that's totally okay. I literally know so many girls that aren't involved in Greek life and it literally doesn't affect them. They are involved in so many other things and they find their community that way. Really up to you. I knew that I wanted to join Greek life. I was a little hesitant to join Greek life at first. I didn't know if it was gonna be my vibe, but I absolutely love it, and it's just such like a fun, accepting community. I'm just adding like the lightest shade of color from my e.l.f. powder blush. I use this for eyeshadow, but today I'm just doing it super, super light. Next, I use this little Morphe brush with like a super thin tip, and I use a Tarte palette with this brown shade, and I use it to line my eyes. So I'm gonna do that off camera and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. I did my eyeliner and mascara. For mascara, I just curled my lashes, and then I used Lash Princess by Essence, and it's the false lash effect, and it's waterproof. That's what I use for my eyelashes, and I haven't done the bottom ones yet. Okay, so now I'm going to wipe off the setting powder that's still left and talk about my next pro, which is that Alabama is a really big school. This is something that really intimidated me coming in, because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be overlooked, I'm not gonna have any friends, it's gonna be scary, all the things that you would think about that come with going to a big school. But I genuinely love going to a big school. There's so much going on, there's so many people, and I kid you not, I cannot go anywhere out of my dorm without seeing someone I know, which I literally love. Like, I leave my dorm for 5 minutes, I see like 6 people I know. It is crazy. It really becomes like a small world when you're on campus, even though there's like 40,000 kids. It really doesn't feel like that big and overwhelming. But it's just nice to have so many like different groups of friends and know so many different people that do so many different things. I just love being in an environment where like I don't know everyone and I meet new people every day. And I think it's really like preparing me for the real world. All my worries about going to a really big school have completely dissipated. I love that Alabama's really big, and it's just testament to how amazing of a school it is. The next pro I wanted to talk about, this might actually be a shocker, but I actually really love like how the party scene is at Bama, which I know that sounds crazy coming from me, somebody who like does not party, but I actually love going to the parties. I don't drink, I don't do anything. I have never once felt pressured from anyone to do anything or to go anywhere or anything like that. I love that there's always events going on campus, whether it's parties or gatherings or whatever, but I love that there's always like activity going on, and going to parties has been super fun. I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I just love dancing to music, being with my friends, having a good time. It gives me something to do with my friends. I don't really like going out to bars and stuff. I barely did that this year. You can't get into bars at Alabama until you're 19, so I couldn't even go until I was 19, and then obviously I can't drink because I'm 19. I actually prefer going to like parties on campus just because it's just fun. It gives you a fun little activity to do, and I never feel like they're super crazy. They're just fun and exciting, and you go for as long as you want to be there. But it's just like super fun to see that like everyone just loves Alabama and loves like coming together and celebrating for different things. And I know when I came to tour, I saw like all these parties going on, and I was like, they just look so fun. Like everyone's just jamming out, having a good time. I want to be a part of that. I'm really glad that I got out of my shell and went to a few parties and had fun, and was able to see that if you don't want to drink, literally nobody cares. Like, they don't care, nobody cares at all. It's not embarrassing, literally doesn't affect anybody but you. And if anyone gives you any type of lip for not wanting to drink, literally tell them to leave. In my experience, nobody has cared. So, oh, I just kind of put on like a little bit of bronzer on my cheeks and stuff, and this is just the same e.l.f. palette, and now I'm gonna be using the same e.l.f. palette for a little bit of blush. My last pro is just the people. I have just met so many amazing people at this school, and it's crazy to think that like all of these people came from all over the country. I love that everyone's from different places. I really thought it was gonna be like only people from Alabama, and that's not true at all. It is people from all over the country. I probably know someone from every state. I even know a few international people, which is insane. That's like so cool to me. Now I'm doing bottom lashes. Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about the very few cons that I do have. But first, this is the Revolution highlight in like the second to lightest shade. I don't know what it's called, but that's what it is on the website. My first con, and probably the biggest con, is definitely parking. Parking at Bama sucks no matter where you are. My dorm, Prez, and just the dorms in that area, the parking is just horrible, and I'd have to park a little bit further on most nights when I had like something like an activity at nighttime. It's just a little bit of a walk, and it's just not great. There's also really no great visitor parking. It's kind of just bad all around, and everybody knows it. I feel like people have been complaining for a really long time, and it just hasn't gotten better, which kind of makes it even worse. But you know, you get around it. My next con is definitely like scheduling in the beginning of the year. it can be really stressful. So there's this thing called Bama Bound, and it's like the orientation at Bama, and you go and you have to schedule classes in this big room with so many people, and it's just really overwhelming coming from somebody who's like never like scheduled their classes before. They don't help you too much. The good news is that you're able to change your schedule once you leave, but it takes a lot of work. Yeah, your first 2 semesters of scheduling is gonna be a little bit rough, and there's gonna be classes that you just can't take because there's no spots. Once again, you'll get through it, and normally you're just taking like mainly your gen eds, so those are a little bit bigger, which is really nice, but you're probably just gonna have to play with it because your Bama Bound scheduling is probably not gonna end up being the scheduling that you want. Next, I'm spraying this setting spray. It's the Dewy Finish by NYX makeup spray, and it's supposed to last 16 hours, so I really like it. My next con is that a lot of people think that Bama is just like a really easy school. All the classes are super easy. You know the TikTok like, Bama's not a real school. I hate to break it to you, but it really is. There are some really hard classes at Bama. The 3 hardest subjects at Bama are the maths, the social studies, and the sciences. Specifically, social studies and math is known to be incredibly hard at Bama. Nobody really knows why, but those 2 classes specifically are like super hard. Even some of the advisors recommend, like, if you can take social studies at a community college, do it, because the social studies at Bama are super hard. I was able to take this thing called a CLEP test, and I tested out of math before college even started. So I didn't have to take that because my major only required 1 math. So I was able to get out of that. When I came to Bama, I wasn't enrolled to take any science or social studies last semester. Luckily for me and my major, I'm taking a class that is a communications class, but it also like duals as a history credit. That's really nice. Some of the credits kind of cross over, but I just took a CLEP test for science and I got out of biology, so I never have to take another math or science class in my life, which is amazing. But definitely just keep that in mind if you're coming here and you need those gen eds. I would definitely recommend trying to take the CLEP test for those 3 subjects if you can, or if you took AP credits in high school, that's great too. But if you're like me, social studies, math, science, not really my things, I'm a writing girly, then maybe consider taking those online or at a community college, or take the CLEP test to get out of it, and it'll help you graduate sooner. And my last little con is kind of just the location like I was talking about. I love Tuscaloosa, but it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Really like no like super close vacation. I was really hoping this year like me and my friends would go on little vacations during like the school year, during the weekend, and we didn't. The only vacation we went in was over spring break to the beach, which was like a 4.5 hour drive, which is pretty long. It does kind of suck that we're not like super close to a beach or a big city other than Birmingham, which like I said before, I don't really like. But honestly, there's so much to do at Bama that it's really not a concern, and I was never bored, and I was never like, oh, I wish we could go on a vacation. There was times, especially like during Christmas, that like we really wanted some things to do, and we were like, where can we go that would like give us some super fun activities? So that was, you know, a little disappointing, but other than that, like there's just so much to do at Bama. I promise you won't get bored, and I absolutely love it. Okay, this is the final look. We got this dress from Lavish, these shoes are from Dillard's. And then no idea where my jewelry's from. These are from Kinder Scott. These, I think, Amazon. Anyways, I hope that video helped you. I hope it got you excited to come to Bama if you're considering it. I absolutely love this school and I cannot recommend it enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. Comment down below what you want to see in my next video, and have an amazing day.